To have a better understanding of market trends, I will explain the connection between inflation and interest rates. Inflation is a fundamental concept in economics that refers to the general increase in prices of goods and services over time, resulting in a decrease in the purchasing power of a currency. In other words, as inflation occurs, each unit of currency buys fewer goods and services. Inflation is often perceived negatively, but it's essential to recognize that a certain level of inflation can be beneficial for the economy. A moderate level of inflation within the range targeted by central banks can have several positive effects on the economy. It encourages spending, investment, wage growth, contributing to overall economic health and stability. The Federal Reserve, often referred to as the Fed, is the central bank of the United States. One of its primary mandates is to maintain price stability, which means keeping inflation in check. The Fed uses various tools to achieve this goal, with one of the most powerful tools being the manipulation of interest rates. The Fed can influence inflation by adjusting the federal funds rate, which is the interest rate at which banks lend to each other. Here's how it works. When the Fed believes that inflation is rising too rapidly and threatens price stability, it may choose to raise interest rates. By doing so, it becomes more expensive for banks to borrow money, leading to higher interest rates for consumers and businesses. This has a cooling effect on economic activity, reducing spending and investment, which in turn can help to slow down inflation. Conversely, when the economy is sluggish and inflation is below the target, the Fed may lower interest rates. Lower rates can make borrowing cheaper and encourage spending and investment, which can stimulate economic growth and push inflation closer to its target rate. In our current context, the significance of inflation and its effects on the economy are more relevant than ever. As of June 2022, inflation has surged beyond 9%, significantly surpassing the Fed's annual target of 2%. This high inflation rate has raised concerns and necessitated swift action. You can see in the table on the right that the Fed responded to this high inflation by taking decisive action. As you can observe, high interest rates are being used as a tool to effectively cool down the soaring inflation and bring it back to more manageable levels. Companies rely on loans to finance their operations, and the interest they pay on these loans is a significant expense when interest rates are high. Just a year ago, they could secure loans with near zero interest rates, allowing them to generate a high profit. However, in the current environment, where the cost of borrowing has risen, their profit margins have been squeezed. Investors, on the other hand, observe that they can earn a risk-free deposit return of 6%. Given this option, they may hesitate to enter into riskier investments like real estate, which offer a lower return relative to the safer deposit option. When interest rates are high, it may not be as financially rewarding to take on higher levels of risk through investment. In such situations, investors often opt to keep their money in the bank, where they can earn a relatively attractive return with lower risk. This reduced demand for investments can lead to a decrease in their prices, as fewer investors are willing to buy them. In the world of investments, The primary goal is to achieve the highest possible return with the least amount of risk. When interest rates are low, leaving money in the bank doesn't yield much, prompting individuals and businesses to explore higher returning investment opportunities. High interest rates can adversely affect companies by cutting into their revenue, leading to reduced profitability and slower growth. This can have a cascading effect, causing both consumers and businesses spending to decline, ultimately contributing to a decrease in inflation. However, once inflation returns to the target level, it's highly likely that the Fed will consider lowering interest rates. This adjustment aims above all to stimulate economic activity with a primary focus on fostering the growth of companies. When businesses thrive, they not only earn more, but also contribute significantly more taxes, ultimately fueling the engine of economic prosperity for the entire nation. In essence, this cycle of interest rates, investments, and their effects on businesses and the economy demonstrates the delicate balance that central banks aim to maintain for sustainable economic growth.